or that's the problem we always work with in the shop, because everyone who skis have like a hard relationship with their ski boots. We always try to do the best we can, even if it means sending them to a different store. My grandfather actually had the record we had a competition in the old days in Åre called Årebragden. That was a skiing competition from the top of the mountain to the town square. So you skied all the way down before all the slopes, so they walked up. And it was Austrians and Swiss people coming here to build Kabinbanan.
Yeah.
And when they came, they said, oh, this won't be a problem, because we build this a lot down in the Alps. But they never seen the weather we have here.
Okay. Hey!
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Today we're chatting with Daniel. What we know about him so far is that he owns Skidsport, which is the local ski store at the main square of Åre village. He grew up here, literally in the center of Åre, and knows a lot about what's happening in and around the village. We can't wait to get to know him better together with you guys.
But you grew up here, right? Or not?
Yeah, I grew up here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you're an original from Åre?
Yeah. One of the few. No, not
few.
one of the few, but yeah.
So, and then your family was also here, or did they move here when?
No, I think I have like 17 generations, like documented.
What?
So my old like family farm is just a couple of 100 meters from here, but it isn't still there. But it was here in Ängarna.
Yeah.
So that's where my family comes from the start.
17 generations, that means what age are we talking about?
Maybe
1800?
like 17, like for beginning of 1700s.
Wow. And that's still documented. How can you?
Oh, it's one of my dad's relatives did that research about the family. So he has.
What was here then? Yeah, like what did the village look like when?
Oh.
Was there any?
I don't know.
There's no pictures that from that age.
It was just a farming, like small village with farms, and people just have, they took care of themselves.
Yeah, just like any random very small village in Sweden.
Exactly. So,
It seems quite adventurous to live up here then in that time, because it's cold. Is there a lot of opportunity to farm even? Because we live here now and we realize it's not that much, right?
I think it was pretty tough life.
Yeah,
I think so. But people stayed here, and people have been staying here for much longer than that. So
yeah. True. I guess they like the environment and the mountains, or the whole vibe here, I guess.
Yeah, and the first people who came here as tourists, they came here for the air.
Yeah,
that's
only the air.
Yeah, the clean air. So people were sent here for if they had problems with their lungs or asthma or stuff like that. They were sent here to breathe the good air.
Yeah. Okay.
And when did it become a ski resort?
Oh, now I had to study if I'm supposed to answer
but
these
like
questions.
During your youth, was it already?
Yeah.
Then it was already a thing. Yeah.
Yeah. When the train was built.
Yeah, that's 110 years ago or something like that.
Yeah, when the train was built, then it was it really started to grow as a tourist destination. And then we had the big man C.O. Ram, who built Bergbanan, the train, and started to build the lift. He was an engineer from Stockholm who saw the potential, and he started to build like a tourist and ski destination, and people who wanted to walk in the mountains. And so then it really started. And then we had the government project, of course, when they built Kabinbanan in the 70s. That's what's a big... in Sweden in the 70s and 80s, the government was like, okay, we have a lot of people, we are growing, and people need to go on vacation, and we need to build places where people can go on vacation. And so Kabinbanan is a government project.
There was a national investment and paid with tax from all over Sweden.
Yeah.
And they still invest in it yearly, or is it
No. They built it and then
they were like, bye-bye.
Yeah.
Now it's your problem.
Yeah, exactly. No, but it was built in, I think it was finished in 76, and I think it really opened in 77.
Oh, wow.
And what was open when you grew up? Like, what were the slopes that you could ski on?
then it was quite a lot, actually. It's a lot like it is today. It's not that many slopes who has been newly built. It was some lifts are new and they rebuilt the slopes and changed it, but pretty much the same. So my parents were living in the same house as I work in today. They still live there. So I grew up in that house. So when I walked from my house to the ski lifts, I walked the same way you do today. I walk up to Kabinbanan, and you had the World Cup lift, and you had an old lift called Stjärnliften, like the new one who is there today.
Yeah.
But it was in a different direction and a smaller lift.
And at some point, your family decided they wanted to get into the ski hire business, or
my grandfather, he was a skier, so he competed in the Olympics in the 30s, nice. And then when he came back and he worked as a driver of Bergbanan, that was actually owned by the state railroad, so he was an employee of the state railroad. And was driving Bergbanan. And then he was living still with his parents and with my grandmother. And he wanted to build his own house. And he got to buy the little piece of land that Skidsport, or just by the square. So he built that house in 1949. And we've been there since then.
Okay. It's guys in the middle of the center, but then there were already people coming here and they needed gear, and so you were one of the first to. Yeah,
so they built the house, and in the where we have the workshop for the skis today, it has been the same place since 49.
Wow.
And then in the middle of the house, they lived themselves. So my grandfather and my grandmother, and then the top floor they built rooms for rent. So they had like 8 rooms that they rented out to tourists. So that was my grandmother rented the rooms and cleaned, and my grandfather drove the Bergbanan during the days, and then he had the ski workshop in the evenings. So then it was wooden skis. So he used like tar and put tar on the skis, and then in the 60s you got the steel edges, and then no one has steel edges. They only had wooden skis. So he stood by hand and screwed the steel edges on the skis.
Wow.
That's a real pioneer in the whole
definitely
ski.
Sounds like a businessman.
Yeah.
And woman. Yeah. Both of them.
And did he get that from his parents, or was it just something he...
His mother had a shop in the town as well, in a different house, but she had a store where you could buy like fabric and stuff like that. Because then everyone's, they made their own clothes and made their own stuff for the home, and so she sold fabric and needles and thread and stuff like that.
Yeah, because in the beginning there weren't even ski clothing, right? You also had to make it yourself, or more or less.
Yeah.
And then Skidsport was then handed to your dad, I assume.
Yeah, my grandfather actually passed away in the early 70s due to illness, so I never got to meet him. And my dad has moved away from the village. He was in Gothenburg working for Volvo.
Okay.
But when that happened, he moved back and he took over the business and the house, and and then he met my mother, and then they had 2 boys.
One of you being you.
Exactly.
Okay. And you always liked the place and wanted to keep it going?
No. When I was younger, I had a small ski career as well. I was a mogul skier, so I went to the ski gymnasium in Järpen.
Yeah.
And
how was that? Was it good?
It was super good. It's easy living. You get to ski on your school hours, and you get professional help with training, and so it was super fun and super.
But that's with age talking about 16 to 19, something.
To 20.
To 20.
I always wonder how you physically stay alive from mogul skiing. It's just like boop, 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 and then a flip, and then you break or you don't.
If you do it the correct way, I think you do it. Then it's okay. But if you do it wrong, or if something happens, then it can be really bad for you.
Because also, like when you jump, right, which you do along the way, if I've seen the TV shows correctly, then you often crash in the middle of moguls.
Yeah, exactly.
That looks
it's
like
when
the
you
most
crash, stuff
painful
happens.
landing. Yeah.
But when this is a long time ago, and when we were going, it wasn't, the courses wasn't as big, and the jumps wasn't that big that they are today, and we weren't allowed to do like flips and stuff like that. So it's a totally different
that sounds
sport
a bit
today.
more chill.
Yeah, if you would look at, will probably look like the 10-year-olds are skiing today.
Okay.
Wow.
No, but I went there, and when I was skiing, I never wanted to work with my dad.
No. Because of the work, or because
No, yes, I didn't want to. I didn't want to work with my parents, and you're a teenager, you don't want to do what your parents tell you.
Yeah.
So in the summers, I went to Stockholm for work, just and hang out with friends, and then I did my ski career, and then after the ski career, I'm that old that when you ended your school, you had to do military service in Sweden. Now it's like not so many have to do it, but we had to do it.
Yeah.
So I had Saturday and Sunday off. I ended school on Friday, and then on Monday I was in the military. And I did that for almost a year. And when I was done with that, I got asked a question from the military if I wanted to go to Bosnia. It was when the civil war in Bosnia.
How old are you, if I may ask?
I'm 47.
47, okay.
So this is the end of the 90s.
Yeah.
So and I was like, I don't know what to do. So maybe I'll go. And I go, and I went to Bosnia for 10 months with the military. And when I came back from there, I had some new perspectives on life.
Because how well trained did you start? Like how good was the training that you did that year?
For the military? Or?
Yeah,
it was good.
Okay, so you were kind of ready.
Yeah. The Swedish army is they're really good at training and preparing you. And so it was no problem like that. And it was a really good group of guys.
So when you arrived in Bosnia, it was kind of a natural way to continue with what you learned in a way, or did it hit you there differently, the reality, I guess?
Yeah, it's always, even if you train, like when you're 20 years old and you land with a military transport plane in the middle of Bosnia, and from one day to another you're in a war zone, it's for sure a wake-up call. And that's why when I came back, I kind of okay, Åre is a really, really nice place to stay at.
So peaceful.
Yeah, and it's a good place to stay in. So then I went, okay, maybe I'll try to live here. And then I studied a bit and didn't know what to do. And about the same time, my dad was like, okay, I'm pretty much done. I won't do this anymore with the shop. And my older brother was, I won't do it, because he was working with computers. And then I said, maybe I'll try it then. And that's 25 years ago, maybe.
Okay.
And was it an easy kind of transfer of your life, or was it quite a struggle?
No, but I came from the skiing community, and this was the same time skiing was evolving a lot. It was the twin tip skis were coming out, and a lot of the ski movies, and I was in the right age, so I knew all the skiers, and that was my kind of...
But you're not automatically also a good salesman and a businessman and economics and...
But I'm not that good at those stuff anyway, so I never made a budget in my life.
So how did you make the shop work then? Because it's still standing there today.
Yeah, maybe I'm lucky. No, but I just took over, and I said, I'll try for a couple of years and see if it's fun. And then I put some of my friends in the staff.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. So I got to work with my close friends, and we worked with skis. And so it was really, really fun.
And you were only 22 then?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe 22, 23.
That's quite young to be an owner of a business.
Yeah.
But did your dad still stay in there for a few years to help you, or did he just give you all the reins and said,
no, he said
thing?
Pretty much we worked for 1 year together. And then he just stepped out of the door and said, it's up to you. Wow. But both he and my mom, they're living in the house. So I see them every day still. And so they gave me a lot of support. But they never intervened. They never told me to do that or do that. But they more gave me advice, like, think about this and this will happen.
And did you change a lot regarding to what they were doing?
Yeah, they had more like a small ski rental and a workshop and a small shop where they were selling like gloves and goggles and stuff. And I was really into skis. So we brought in a lot more skis and different kind of skis. And then, the wide skis and the carving skis were just coming, and everyone it was a lot of new products coming out all the time.
Nice. And were there other shops as well offering those skis, or
yeah,
the only ones?
I think it was more shops in Åre with skis then than it is now. But now we are in Åre, like the village. We are the last one there who's not owned by a big company or centrally owned. We're like the last privately owned shop in a ski shop. You have a couple of more shops that locally own, but like we're the only one doing skis. Because then it's Stadium, it's Skistar, it's Intersport, and
And you're also known for your amazing boot fitting skills as a shop.
After a couple of years, I had a guy who was actually working in another store in Åre, and we met a couple of times. He moved here the same year the first World Championships was, so maybe 2006, 2007. And we met a couple of times and we talked a lot, but he was working in another store. And then in the summertime, he came to me and said, I'm thinking about starting my own shop. And talking about that. And then I said, I thought, that's not good if he starts his own shop. So I said, why won't you come work with me instead? And he had been working in St. Anton for 10 years and started working with me. And he really evolved all the boot fitting. He was on another level than we were. We were like selling boots and, this is one boot and what's the difference? We don't really know. And he came from the Austrian, and had worked with ski racers and everything. So he really changed our thinking about ski boots.
Is he still there?
No, he actually ended this year. So he was working with me for 16 years.
Oh,
wow!
Yeah.
And did he start his own shop now?
No, he changed. He's working for a brand now.
Okay.
But he really made the shop to where it is about the boot fitting, and then everything comes with it. And so when I took over, the shop was open from October, November until May, and then it was closed. And I say that in a jokingly way, I say it's the worst decision of my life to start open all year round.
Because you have to work more.
Yeah, I have to work all year. But it also meant a lot because I got to keep the staff and we got customers knew we were always open. But when I took over, it was like my mom, my dad, and one employee, and quite small business. And we built, it was only on one floor. So we built the second floor and the entrance where you come in today. We built that in 2006 or something like that. And then we just started growing. And now this winter we were 18 people working.
18?
Yeah.
So you're still growing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we had a jump during the pandemic, I think almost everyone had up here. And then now it's a bit more flat, but yeah.
And are any of your friends from back in school, when you were young, still around?
Yeah. People were coming here from all over the country to go to the ski school or ski gymnasium in Järpen, and some of them ended up here and some of them moved away again.
And you went to Åreskola, I assume?
Yeah.
And then Duved already existed, a school there?
No, I was the first one going there.
Okay.
When I was young, I'm born in 1977, so when I started school in Åre, it was so few students, so we had the 2 first years were one class.
Okay.
So we had year 1 and 2 was one class, year 3 and 4 were one class, and year 5 and 6 was one class.
Okay.
So, 1 year when you started, you went with the ones who were 1 year older. And then the next, when I went, was in 2nd grade. Then there were new 1st graders, so I went to school with the ones who were younger. And so you got to know a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I think my age, we were maybe 8 or 9
people.
Yeah, in that year, in the class.
Are they still all here? Do you still
no.
in contact with them?
No.
And some of them?
Yeah. I have contact with a lot of them, and some of them are moving back now when they're older. But some of them have moved other parts of Sweden.
Yeah.
So and then I went 1 to 6 in Åre skola, and then when I started 7th grade, Duved skola was brand new. So we were the first class to go 7 to 9 in Duved. Before that, they all went to Järpen.
Okay. And that was only that small wing of Duved skola.
Yeah, exactly. Not the big school it is today.
Yeah. Do you like how Åre has evolved over the years? Is it going in the right direction according to you? Or?
Yeah. I work in tourism, and my family has always done it. And I think when you work in tourism, you have to have a little bit of like evolvement or growth every year. Then I don't like everything that's happened. I think a lot of stuff has been too fast, and maybe in some could have been done better. And I think for sure I don't like the results that Åre kommun like. I think they would have done a lot of stuff better than they did. They should have been tougher in a lot of ways.
What do you mean?
Like with parking, for example. There's an old record from a meeting in Åre in the 60s. And my grandfather was one of the people who were like, we have to try to fix the parking issue. So it's a paper where we're in the 60s talking about the park. There was problems with parking in Åre. And now it's like 60 years later and we haven't still solved it. And I think the kommun should have fixed that in a better way than they have. Like when we expanded Skidsport, we were supposed to build parkings, but we couldn't build parkings because we didn't have the space. And then we paid a fee to Åre kommun for every parking we couldn't build. We had to pay a fine,
really?
like money to Åre kommun, so they should build the parking for us. And they haven't built any parking, so I don't know.
And are there any plans for it at all?
I don't know. I haven't seen any. So I think the kommun for sure could have done a lot of stuff better to keep the
tourism, the numbers.
Yeah. But then like the speed of that this village had grown with the last couple of years, especially like maybe pre-pandemic, but during the pandemic and after, with people moving here and with all the kids, and I think it's hard for the kommun to
keep up.
Yeah, for
sure. You also need to have the right employees who are ready for that, and
the space just to put them anywhere.
But they're doing some good things. They built a whole new school.
Yeah.
Let's say.
Yeah,
that is an important.
Yeah, they're
part.
trying their hardest now.
Yeah,
and I think some things they could have done a lot better, but some things they couldn't have done anywhere else because it's not possible to plan. So,
because who makes those decisions? Because there's a lot of, if I am correct, Åre kommun needs to decide or has the money for people cleaning the roads, the schools, the parkings, all those things. And I guess they need to make a lot of hard decisions. Where does the money go?
Yeah.
And do you, for example, have a say in that as a shop owner?
I have a say when there's an election.
Yeah.
So when there's an election, I can vote for the people who I want to have my saying in the kommun for the next couple of years. So it's important to vote, and it's important to have the right people in the kommun. And I'm so impressed by the people who are there and trying to do a good job, because I'm not up for it. And my mom always tells me that it's every Swedish citizen's duty to do a couple of years as a politician or in the local commune. But no, I'm not.
to understand better how hard it is then.
Yeah, for sure. Because I'm used to a company where if I make a decision, it's from there to there, and then we can do it. And I think in the public, it's so long
process
and slow. So I would be so frustrated. So I couldn't do that.
Yeah. So there is no influence at all or I'm not saying there's going to be black money or something, but I mean, there's no influence.
It's not like the Alps when they meet in the square and said, you can't open the store there, or you can, no, it's free here.
Yeah.
No.
That's good in some way, because that's what we didn't like about the Alps, that there is that underground politics system.
Some call it mafia, or
definitely in some way, for sure.
No, but I think Åre has grown a lot. It's a completely different place for when I grew up till now. And for sure I don't like it all, but in the big picture I like it. And it was the same. My grandmother, when she was living in the house, because she lived in the house until 2001. So the place where you come up and try the boots, where we have that's my grandmother's old kitchen.
No.
So when I came back from school, I always went to my grandmother. She fixed me dinner and helped me with the homework. And my parents were working because it was winter, so they worked all night. And we were sitting there, and we always were sitting by her kitchen table looking out the window, and the window is over the square. And she will tell me stories about when she moved here, because she wasn't from here. And then it was still maybe just a farming village. And she came here to work on a farm. And she thought it was so wonderful, everything that had happened in Åre. Oh, it's so much people here, and people can work and they can earn money. And she thought it was wonderful with all the tourists. So, and she was living in the middle of it, and she was an old lady, and she just loved
it.
Yeah, she loved sitting there and watching all the people come down in the afternoon with the skis. And
nice.
Yeah, I think that maybe influenced me, and
that you're
the positive thinking in it, for sure. And do you still like skiing or snowboarding after all these years?
Yeah, for sure.
Have you tried snowboarding now?
Yeah, I'm not a good snowboarder. I'm a really bad snowboarder, but I try to snowboard a couple of times a year.
Switch it up a bit.
Yeah. I like it when it's a bit soft in the slopes.
And who fits your boots?
Oh, the guys in the shop.
Yeah. You found a good boot? Because for me, it's still like an issue to find a good snowboard boot in a way. And I've been snowboarding for 25 years as well, and it's so hard, I think.
Yeah, it is hard. It's actually harder, I think, with snowboard boots than with ski boots.
Yeah.
Because ski boots you can do a lot with after you buy them. You can change the liner, you can adjust the shell, you can do so much. And snowboard boots is like, okay, you buy them, you maybe heat them up, you can do a insole, but then it's pretty much up to the boot. And it's so hard to know when you try the boot in the shop, how will this feel in like 2 months?
You found one that works for you?
Yeah. But I'm used to ski boots, and I think if you're used to ski boots, every snowboard boot is nice.
That is true. I've been snowboarding too much now my perspective is being changed, but I should maybe ski a bit more again.
It's one of the reasons I never wanted to ski, because I like, why would you ever want to put such a hard boot on your foot and then not have the comfort of a snowboard boot? I couldn't understand that, but now
If you hadn't been forced to have that kind of boot when you ski, you never would put that boot on your foot.
No, exactly.
but if you need to ski, you need to have that type of boots.
Yeah.
And that's our problem, that's the problem we always work with in the shop, because everyone who skis have like a hard relationship with their ski boots. It's for sure there's people who love their ski boots and say, I can wear them all day and it doesn't hurt or anything. But the most of the skiers, they have like an issue with their ski boots.
Yeah.
And it's cold and it hurts, and so there's always stuff to work on in a ski boot.
It's so weird because for me, almost now the ski boot is easier and nicer to wear than my soft boots in a way. It's a very strange way.
Yeah.
But that's also because I went to your place and they said to buy like a really small one and then it's super snug and tight in a way. Anyway, that works for me.
A lot of people think that if a ski boot, if it hurts on your foot, it's an easy way to buy bigger ones. Yeah. But that's actually the opposite. If you buy bigger ones, it's often more problems than you buy smaller ones. And it's always easier to make a ski boot bigger. You can't make it smaller. It's super hard, right? Anyway.
Some good advice.
Yeah.
What is your favorite part about the shop?
It's that every day is a new day. Like every person that comes in has their own problem or the thing they want you to help them with. So and like with ski boots, the same solution never works twice. It would be nice if you okay, we can do that and that and that, and then this will work. But it's so different because every person is different. So you have to start from the beginning every time. And even if you did something that worked the day before, it's not sure it will work again. So you have to really think and analyze and help people. So it's never the same. We never have a day that's the same as yesterday.
So you're still involved in the whole practical bit part of that?
Yeah, try to. I'm not good in sitting in office. So I want to be in the shop. I think that's more fun.
Yeah.
And let the people who are good sitting in office be good at that, and I'll be
and you be you on the front.
Yeah. So I'm working in the store. I try to do it as often as I can. And then when someone is going on vacation or someone is ill or something like that, I'm always the first one to go in. So I don't have to call the staff who has already been working. So I take the place of the ones.
And you added mountain bikes at some point then as well?
Yeah, that was the first summer we opened the store. Like I said, when I took over, it wasn't open in the summer. And then I said, okay, maybe we'll try to have the store open for a summer. And we just had this at a clothing store. We had clothes and some equipment, but we didn't rent anything. We didn't have a workshop. We didn't do anything. And it was me and one of the girls who were working, and we just working every other day, never together. And it was the worst summer of my life, just standing in waiting for people to come in, and people came in. I just walked around looking at stuff, and then they said, "Oh, thank you," and I went out again, and it was so boring. So we said we have to do something that people come in the store and we can help them out, and we have something to do. So I had the guy working in my store in the wintertime who was working in another store in the summertime with bikes, and I said, "Let's do bikes." And
when was this?
Maybe 2004 or 5 or something like that.
That's
quite early.
Yeah.
Was it downhill biking or just normal bikes?
No, only downhill biking, and it was one other store in the village who had rentals by then. So
there was already downhill park in 2004.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we had the mountain bike world championships in '99.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, didn't know that.
So we had it here in '99. So the mountain bike had started a couple of years before, but then it was an underground, no one really knew what was happening. But then a couple of guys from the village did a great job to bring the World Championships here. And then we built some really good trails for the World Championships. And then it started.
Do you remember which ones were the first trails? Are they still alive today?
Some of the downhill trails are still here. The course that had the cross country during the World Championships is not here anymore.
Okay.
But you can see some remains of it, but it's not used.
Which downhill track was the first one?
Downhill banan, the competition course, the downhill banan. Some parts of that is still the same they used for the World Championships.
Okay.
And I don't know the exact name of it, but when you bike in the front of Hummen down to the new lift, that's really steep.
Yeah.
That was the start of the downhill course.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, they didn't start off easy then.
No.
But it was World Championship, so I guess it's the highest level at that point.
Yeah. Yeah. So then we started with mountain bikes. Yeah. 04, 05 or something like that. And then since then we've been open.
And you
round.
started biking yourself around that time as well?
Yeah, I've never been a big downhill mountain biker. I had a road bike. I was doing a bit of road biking. And then I bought a cross-country bike. And I did a couple of downhill runs for years. But broke my arm once, broke my finger another time. And then I decided that downhill mountain biking, I'm not made for it. My body thought I was good at it, but the head wasn't like really
in line.
So you gave up, or you're still not even trying anymore?
I do it sometimes, like slowly, just. And my staff are nagging at me to bring back cross-country biking more and to go cross-country biking with them. But I haven't been really good at cross-country the last couple of years either. So.
And you have kids, right?
One. Yeah.
What age is?
He's 4. He's turning 5.
So he's not yet into the biking or skiing?
No, he's running around with this the running bike.
Yeah. And skiing?
Yeah, skiing. Yeah.
You're teaching him? Or?
Yeah. We're trying to teach him. He's not really that interested, but when I was growing up, I don't think I started skiing maybe until I was 6 or 7.
Yeah.
So,
that's quite early.
Yeah, he's 4. I'm not stressed. He will ski for sure.
At some point. And has the commercial, I think the commercial world has changed a lot over the years.
Yeah.
And the whole online industry and everything. How are you going to deal with that? How do you see the future?
The first step, I think, here in the village was when we were still small, when they built the new big house on the square where stadium's located. That was the first scare because, okay, now stadium is coming to the village. That's a big, what will we do and will we survive? But we really just did our thing, and we're trying to, I tell my staff every day, I tell them that if we make every person coming in the store, when you come in the store and you go out, if you have the thought, that was a nice visit, I want to go back there, we won't have any less customers tomorrow. So just everyone coming in, try to do the best we can, make them have a nice stay. And it doesn't matter if they're buying something or asking for their directions or so we always try to do the best we can, even if it means sending them to a different store. And never doing it in the wrong way. If you come in to buy snowboard boots, we need to see that you have the best snowboard boots you can have from us.
Mm.
If we don't have a good snowboard boot for you, we won't sell you one.
Yeah.
Because if we sell you the wrong product and you go out snowboarding and then in an hour you will be back and just this doesn't work for me. So we try to do the best possible service and knowledge we can to everyone who's coming in. And and then for sure we can't be the cheapest one. We can't be the one selling the most skis, or we won't be the biggest online shop, or it's impossible for us because there will always be someone bigger. There will always be someone cheaper. So we do it our way and try to do it as good as possible, with service and knowledge and all those stuff. And let's hope that people acknowledge that and think that's important.
Yeah. I think is a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
I think from what I noticed, Skistar hasn't been making it easy with their bike prices this summer. But
Skistar is a big company and they do it their way. They have if you're a member, you get discounts and stuff like that. And that's their take on it. And we have the internet sales from abroad, if you buy from Germany or if you buy from the US, or it's cheaper. So that's stuff we have to handle every day.
Yeah.
But I think for ski boots, if you buy your ski boots at a different shop and you come to us, you have to pay for our help. Like you pay by the hour and you pay for whatever we do with your ski boots. If you buy the ski boots or snowboard boots from us, everything is included. And it has to be like really, really, really cheap online if it's supposed to be worth it economically to buy it. If you need help, maybe you buy a pair of snowboard boots, ski boots, and it works perfect, fine.
Mm-hmm.
But if you need help, that difference in price is quite quick.
Yeah.
So I think people, if you're a skier and if you have problems with your ski boots or a snowboarder, it's the best you can do is to buy them off a store that knows and that can help you afterwards, because you will need help afterwards.
Yeah, I didn't look at that before I came here.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird because in the Alps, I bought many different pairs of shoes, or I got some from sponsors or whatever. And it was always the same thing. You put them on and you break them in, and after a week or 2 or 3, they start to feel better. And you're like, okay, I can survive the season with them and it's fine. And at the end of the season, they were done. You need to buy new ones.
Yeah.
But I never had the experience that I think maybe it's a more Swedish thing, or I don't know if it's in the Alps. It never felt like there was a store that had the knowledge or the drive to really help you fit and feel that the boot is perfect in a way. So
it isn't that many stores.
In general?
No,
probably.
in general. Like in Sweden, maybe ski, maybe like 5 or 6 that's good in the whole of Sweden. And snowboard shop, like the traditional snowboard shops, they didn't have any knowledge. Like they sold the boots because they were cool or because some pro used it. But I think they're learning more and more. And the few who has survived they have survived because they have good knowledge and they can help you. Like I think the snowboard shop in Åre now they're super good at it. So
but I think it's a really nice way to differentiate yourself from, like you said, the online world, like you were asking.
Yeah.
That if you actually have something extra to offer, otherwise it's just the boot in a store and you can buy it online. But if you add more
and
to
that's lucky for us, because if it wasn't that way, then we only could compete with the price like they are doing.
And then you never compete because you pay your staff and your accommodation, whatever you do.
Yeah, and we're a small store in one place. We only have Åre. We don't have different stores. And we have so we can't compete with the prices that a big like online dealer is doing. So
and you never thought of like expanding more stores, different locations?
No, I told you before, I never did a budget in my life, but I'm a total like control freak. I want to be in control of everything. And I don't think I could do it with a store in a different location. Like if I had a store in Stockholm, or I want to be there. Like I want to be in control and see what happens and change if it doesn't work. And
how can you be a control freak and not know about your budget? It feels like a contradiction, right?
Yeah, maybe. Like I said, I'm not good at working in an office.
Yeah. Okay.
No, but like a budget. I made a budget when we were rebuilding the store. I made a budget for a year. And the first year, that budget wasn't... we were lucky enough that we had a better result than the budget. And after that, I'm just like more like winging it.
Okay.
And for next year, what do we think? Do we think it will be better or worse, or maybe? And then we adjust everything. And for sure, I check, like if we put in an order to a brand, I check the amount and see what levels we are in. But I've never made like a Excel. I hate Excel.
Sorry.
Tim loves Excel.
I like Excel. Yeah, I think it's very functional. It works really well.
Yeah, it's good if you know it, but I don't know it. Yeah. So
I think
I don't like it.
I fell in love with him because he likes Excel.
Great.
So you have to practice more then and can become better.
Yeah. But it's a great tool. But besides that, have you evolved in partnerships with other brands over the years, or have you stayed loyal to some?
That's, I think, one of our biggest strengths is that we're not loyal to anyone.
Oh.
I haven't signed like a paper with anyone saying that I'll buy this from you, I'll buy this, or we'll have this. We buy the stuff we like. We really like. Lost the word, but we try everything. Like every ski boot that's in our shop, we tried it. Every snowboard boot that's in the shop, we tried it. Skis, snowboards, everything. We try everything. We want to know that this stuff works. We want to know how it works and if we can change it and how it works comparatively to everything else. And if a brand makes good products, we'll buy it. But if they don't, we won't buy it. Doesn't matter what name, if it's what brand it is. It's the product that speaks, and it really doesn't matter either if we get a good margin or if the cash wise, we just go for, okay, this is a good product, then we'll buy it. Or it's really expensive. Okay, is it worth the money? If it is, we'll buy it. If it's not, we won't buy it.
Do you sell? I always wonder with these stores because it feels like there's so much stuff in there.
Yeah.
Is everything sold? I guess not every season. You
I wish.
Yeah.
No, it's some. The brands are getting better and better than that, making products that last for a couple of years. I think it's with the whole sustainability and everything. I think it's crazy that you have like a snowboard binding or boot or ski boot that's 1 year it's black and then the next year they just change the color and they call it something else or they change the price. And you're supposed to like get rid of the old ones and then buy new ones. I think that's sustainability and everything for financially for everyone. It's just crazy. And a lot of brands are changing that. So if you have like a black snowboard boot and they won't change it, okay, then it's the same for maybe a couple of years.
Yeah.
And then we don't have to put it on sale and
so you can keep it in the store for longer.
Yeah. So if we don't sell it, we don't have to like give it away just to make room for the new one coming in.
Yeah.
And for sure, every year there's a lot of products like, okay, this won't be here for next year. New one is coming, and we have to put it on sale and try to get rid of it. And
does the things that are left over are shipped to Poland or something? Because I know from the Alps sometimes that's what happens.
No, we sell everything here. We have some of our rental stuff, like old rental skis and rental boots. We sell to a company in Stockholm who sell them there. So they still like we don't throw them away. We sell them. We don't get paid. Like it's not maybe worth it the money, but they get to use them again. We don't. They work, so why throw them away?
And you feel you have enough space to buy everything you want?
No.
You put in your shop? No.
No.
Can you add another floor?
Let's see. We've been thinking about that for every year, especially this time of year when we get all the stuff. It's so cramped. Every square centimeter of the store is cramped with stuff. So then we need to have a bigger space or bigger, but I don't think so. Right now, we're quite happy with the space we have, and I think we can grow in the space we have by just doing it in different ways.
Have you seen a big increase in the tourism in the last few years, or has it been kind of steady?
I think the big increase was during the pandemic years. Then it was a lot more tourists here.
But before pandemic, after pandemic, it stayed. It's not like it went back to levels that were before pandemic.
I think right now, we have more people now than we had before the pandemic.
Yeah.
But the pandemic is still the top years, and it's been a bit down from those years.
So we need another pandemic.
Oh,
no, I'm not joking,
but it was. We always talk about a lot in tourists. We talk international guests. We want to get people from different countries and stuff like that. And during the pandemic, there were only Swedes. Like we didn't even get the Norwegian. The border was closed, and we had a really really good 2 good years with only Swedes. And I think that's a nice, not lesson, but nice knowledge to know that if all the Swedes just go on vacation in their own country, that's enough.
Yeah.
We don't really need people from everywhere to come here, but it's nice to people.
Yeah.
Last year we had a lot of people from Denmark coming. I think I really like. I think it's important that the village of Åre is growing and everyone is doing good. And I'm a big ambassador of the village. I think if everyone loves to come here, then it doesn't matter if you have a restaurant or if you have a ski shop or if you have a hotel or if you have work in the school or wherever.
And do you hear that around you, that everybody is kind of happy with?
I think it's for sure a lot better now than it was maybe 10, 15 years ago, especially all year round.
Yeah, that's
15 years ago, it was maybe 1 or 2 restaurants open in the summer. And a lot of the hotels closed down and not a lot of the shops were open all the time. And that's a huge difference now. Everything's open in the summer as well. And I think that's been giving people the opportunity to stay here all year round. You have work all year round. And the companies have income all year round, and that makes them stronger. So I think that has made a really big difference for the town.
Yes.
And that's maybe why the possibility that more and more people are coming here to stay, because there are better possibilities to stay.
Yeah. We heard a couple of extra projects that might be built, let's say. I don't know if that's...
I don't know any...
you don't know anything that it's even needed, or you feel that that would be too much at this point in the growth of the city?
No, I think for sure I would like the lifts and the ski slopes to grow. It has stayed the same for a long time, and I think a lot of the lifts need to change. We have some problem areas in the winter times, especially if it's bad weather. But I also know that Skistar knows about the problem. And then I think two huge changes that would make a big change for Åre is if it was possible to change kabinbanan. There's been talk about changing that in a lot of years now. But to build a new big gondola or something going from where kabinbanan is now, or from the town square or wherever, going all the way to the top. That's a modern lift that you can use all year round. You can use it for biking. You can use it for...
Because now it's stuck quite a bit, or you can't use it a lot all the time, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not that effective at that moving people.
I heard somebody also talking about it then, that the idea they have for the new one is that it would stop kind of midway.
Yeah, I heard that as well.
But that's also still not happening, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I've heard these talks since I was young.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still hoping for it, but I'll believe it when they do it. And it's a lot of money involved. I understand.
Yeah, it's a big project.
And building on the top of the mountain, you have a window of 6 to 8 weeks where the weather is okay to build up there, and to put up a lift you don't do that in 6 to 8 weeks.
No.
It's kind of crazy that they did this way back when, if you think about the technology and stuff, how it's changed over the years.
Yeah, and it was Austrians and Swiss people coming here to build kabinbanan.
Yeah.
And when they came, they said, "Oh, this won't be a problem because we build this a lot down in the Alps." But they never seen the weather we have here.
Okay, but they still did it.
Yeah, but it took a lot longer time. I think it took over a year longer than they thought it would take.
Wow.
But then you have to invite, you still have some of those guys that came here to build kabinbanan are still here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they ended up meeting girls and stuff and stayed here. So invite one of them and talk about that project.
Yeah, that's a very good
separate podcast.
Yeah, we should.
Kabinbanan podcast.
Yeah. So, but if they could build that big like transportation from the village all the way to the top, that would be a big difference. And then I always tell, like, it's a lot of problems with the people who are owning land, and the relationship between Skistar and the companies that do tourists and the people that are owning the land is really, really sensitive. And I think if it would be possible to do like some kind of trail around Skutan, if you start, you can take the lift maybe up a bit, and then you could go around and you can do running or biking in the summer, and you could do cross-country skiing in the winter. I think that would be a big change.
But the problem now is that the land is like divided into long, small
cake. If you look from the top, Skutan looks like a cake, with small pieces going all the way.
So if you want to do something like that, you need the approval of all the owners.
Yeah.
That's going to be super hard. I
guess.
It's
going to be. And that discussion has also been going on since my grandpa's days. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's really sensitive, and it just needs one to not want to do it, and then it's...
Are you ever involved as owners in talks about expanding the area or the lifts even? Are you, like with Skistar, do you ever have a meeting with them every year? Or?
No, I think Skistar has their own meetings with the people who own the land and who have... I'm not involved in any type... I have my store, and that's what I do. Then we have the Åre destination, who's like every company in Åre is a member of, or should be a member of. Because that's where we get our saying, if we want to say, and that's where we get our information. So I go to those meetings that they have, and we have like different branch. We have like one for everyone who's doing biking. We have a meeting a couple of times a year, and we sit down and we talk about biking, and Skistar is on those meetings, and they tell, okay, we are doing this and we're trying to do this. So we try to plan together, and then we have meetings for all the shops in the village, and we do...
That exists.
Yeah. And it works really good, and I think Åre destination is the most important thing for a company in this village is to be a part of that. And we need to get them more funds and more money so they can do even more, because our kommun isn't... They do a lot of stuff that I think the kommun should do.
Yeah.
But
it's also about budget, right? About money in the end.
Everything's about money.
Yeah.
So, but all the praise I can give them, like Therese and the rest of the staff working at Åre destination, they make a really big, huge difference for everyone. Yeah. I don't think everyone thinks they do, and I don't think people even knows what they do.
But can you give examples of what they do that you like?
But for example, for me, I always say my best investment ever as a company owner was Åre höstmarknad, the market in the fall. Because that was a weekend it was nothing. And they tried to start that project. I think it's 20 years next year. So I think it's 19 years ago. They tried to start that, and they went around to all the shops in the village and like, can you help us with some money? We're trying to start a market in the fall. And I gave them some money, and look at it now. It's like one of the best weekends for the village in the year. Yeah. And it was in September. And in September, like, everyone was closed 20 years ago.
How many people come to the market-ish, you think?
25,000.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. So that's one thing they do, that they do that completely, like arrange everything and fix everything in the village. And then they have a lot of meetings, like with the kommun, with Skistar, with the railway companies now that, they had some problems with the trains. Mm-hmm. And they even went to Stockholm to meet with the politicians there.
Because they wanted to cancel the night trains or something,
exactly,
right?
Yeah.
Did that happen in the end? Or?
No, they extended it with 2 years now.
Oh, wow. That's good news.
So it's still from Stockholm extended for 2 years, but from Gothenburg it's hopefully it looks better now. Mainly because of people and
from here.
Yeah, and from and what a destination and stuff.
Fighting for it.
Yeah.
Speaking of transport, do you know what the update is on the bike road on this road from Duve to Åre?
No. I've seen it, that it's been built or that it's on the map.
There.
The plans, but no. I'm so like I talked about the Kabinbana, like I'll when they make it, I'll believe it.
Yeah.
I never expect anything to happen because I know during the years it's been so many projects that like you've been looking forward to that's never been made.
Yeah.
So
what is one of the? Do you have an example of something that you really wanted to happen that never happened?
I can't say that I really wanted it, but I think one of the projects that been more talked about in the village during my adulthood or 25 years, it's been connecting Duved Tegefjäll to Åre by lift.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, to build a lift that you could go like from Tege to Ullådalen.
Because it's two little separate, a separate resort, and then you have
that was talked about a lot. It hasn't been talked about in at least 5 years, and of course that is because of Ullådalen is a really sensitive area, and now there has been a big fight up there for land and for how we should use it, and the big projects that are planned. Who doesn't want to? So everyone, it's been really like an infected area. So now it's like you understand that the lift there will never ever happen.
Yes.
And I don't think it will need to happen. I think you can take the bus, or you can have skins on your skis and walk, so it doesn't need to happen. But it was one project that was talked about a lot in the like 15 years ago. It was, we need to connect.
I think for a tourist, if you're not living here, it could be an extra bonus. Like we know the Alps, where you can go on a full day tour.
Yeah.
You start somewhere, you have lunch in the other place,
you come back,
or
something like that. Yeah,
the Travalet in France.
Yeah.
And that is kind of missing here. Well, you can do mini tours towards Sadelen and back, but there's not like a full tour. So I understand from a tourist perspective that it could be a nice thing actually to have, but I also get that.
But from a local perspective?
From a local perspective, it's a nice area to have like clean and not too many
tourists.
And tourists involved.
Yeah,
it's always that balance, I guess.
It's a hard balance because, and that's a big difference in the way you're skiing right now. It's been quick because the equipment has gotten so much better. So now you can use a large part of the mountain or everywhere you want to go, and it's really accessible. So I don't think now you need a lift, but for sure it's always nice to have a lift.
Sure.
So, but it's a real balance with the nature and everything around it, and that's also good. That discussion hasn't been like in Sweden. It's the last 20-25 years that the environment discussion has grown a lot, and that's important.
Yeah,
we need to take care of it. We only have one chance. So
that is true. But we are already in that business, so it is kind of tricky to not do anything with it. And I also think that there's an area already exploited. Maybe just exploit that a bit more instead of going out for new areas, let's say.
But I also think a lot of the ski area in Åre is not used to its full potential. Because a lot of people are skiing the same lifts, the same slopes, and there you have big lines and a lot of people. But there's also areas on the mountain that you can use more efficiently with better lifts and better slopes. So I don't really think maybe we need to expand it, but we need to rebuild it and make it better.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
And besides snowboarding and skiing and biking, is there anything else you like to do on your down days?
My largest interest is a different sport that's also available here, but maybe not the most popular. I play a lot of golf.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Also, I would say not that many months available, or am I underestimating
it's maybe June till September.
Okay.
But I'm involved in the golf course and everything around that one. I grew up and my family played golf when I was younger. So it was the same time the golf course was built here. So I started playing when I was 12, and I've been playing ever since. And I do it a lot in the summer times.
Cool. And mostly here, or do you go to other places in Sweden? Or
I play
abroad?
mostly here. I go sometimes. I go and we go to Norway. You know, one in the springtime in April. That's actually quite cool because you can ski here. At the same time, you can take the car and drive an hour and 1 hour and a half, and you can play golf in the same day. So I don't think that's possible at that many places in the world.
What is that place called in Norway?
It's Verdal, or the course is Stiklestad. So you turn right and you go past Temforsen.
Okay. Oh,
like
that direction.
Hour and a half.
Oh, that's a cool idea, actually.
Yeah.
Maybe we should get into golf.
At some point.
At some point in life, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good sport, and you can do it with your family, so it's nice. Match is good with skiing. We do that in the winter.
Yeah.
Do your parents still ski? Or?
My mom skis. My dad is a bit older, and he had 2 big crashes a couple of years ago, and so he's not able to ski anymore. But my mom skis a lot in the winter.
You go out with her?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Nice. Do you ever miss the mogul skiing part? Because that ended then pretty abruptly with the army thing.
I don't miss it. I think it's fun, but it's right now. It's like I told you before. It's a totally like different sport. So if you go to the mogul course in Duved, or where, I can't ski that.
No, you don't see it, and you're like, oh, I want to try that.
No, I'm too old, and I'm not. My body is not able to do that.
Yeah.
So I don't think moguls is like a recreation, like you do for fun. It's like a
depends
sport.
on how serious you take it. I grew up with in skiing in Quatre Vallées, like Verbier, in those places, and there you have mogul slopes that are
naturally built,
almost like kilometer long. They're huge, and then my dad was like with little us behind him, like let's go do moguls. Yay!
Yeah, but that's fun when you get like when the slopes in the springtime, when you get big moguls in the slopes, and then I ski moguls for sure. I think that's fun. But if you go to the like where they practice and have competitions, it's a different sport, and you need to be trained to do that. So
you can answer my question actually. Like I said, I don't know much about official mogul skiing, but why do they have colored knees on the pants?
Because it's a big part of the moguls is that you get points for technique. It's not like you ski the fastest from one point to another. It's how you do it.
Okay.
And you get points for technique. And one of the biggest technique issues is how your knees work, how much vertical work your knees does, and you want to show that. So you always have like a different patch so the judges can see your knees working. And often they also have the clothing or the thing on their knees is a bit wider than their pants, and that's because you need to have your knees completely together all the time when you ski moguls. If you let one foot go, you get deducted points. So then they have those things that are a bit wider. So if they lose it a bit,
you don't see
it.
Oh, cheating.
Yeah.
Okay. And,
so that's why almost every time you see it, it's white. You see that you have white patches on their knees as the snow is white. So it's not
Is that a new technology, or was that already in your time?
No, it wasn't in my time.
Okay. So you lost some points there.
For sure. A lot of points, I think.
And do you ever need to escape Åre once a year or something? Or do you love it here?
Yeah. I have, my wife is not from here. So we have a little summer cottage where she comes from.
Where is that?
It's 3 hours from here. At maybe nearest town is Sundsvall.
Okay, in that direction.
Yeah. So it's an old family, fäbodvall you call it in Swedish, is where you brought your like cattle and stuff in the summers. So it's by a lake. We don't have any electricity. We don't have any service on our cell phones.
Lovely.
We have water, and it's like 2 rooms and a bedroom. So we stay there for a couple of weeks every summer. Just
nice.
Yeah, it's super good.
Yeah. You're like recharged literally after that period, I guess.
Yeah, it's nice. And then we try to go on on some kind of holiday every year. We traveled a lot before we had kids, so I don't really have like a big urge to go traveling all over the world. So, but we try to go, maybe at least go somewhere in Sweden and see something new. And this summer we went to Greece for a week to have some warm weather. The summer wasn't that good, and to go swimming with our son.
Yeah. What's the period in the year that you will never want to miss in Åre?
Springtime for sure, like April. I think that's the best time of the year. And I actually like it when it's a bit slower, like not that many people. So you can go out and when the perfect condition is like slushy snow and you can do like full laps, you go kabinbanan and you ski all the way down to kabinbanan again and just can walk straight in and get the next one and go up again. That's like the best days of the year.
Skiing for you.
Yeah.
Nice.
We
never done that, actually. Never thought
We
of
have
it.
a new plan.
A new plan. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's always a competition. Like you go out, put on the skis, and then you ski. And if you are able to go down and catch the next one, before then it's...
So you got 20 minutes, basically.
Yeah.
20 minutes, to go down, more or less.
My grandfather actually had the record of the... we had a competition in the old days in Åre called Årebragden. That was a skiing competition from the top of the mountain to the town square. So you skied all the way down before all the slopes, so they walked up. And it was a big competition, and my grandfather actually had the record time for that a long time. And it was just above 4 minutes.
4 minutes?
Yeah. So
Okay.
you ski, and then there was no, like, you didn't have any groomed pistes, or you didn't have. So they walked up from Hummen, where the lift ended, walked up, and then they just skied down through the ravines and everything down to the town village. Wooden skis, leather boots, and they did it in 4 minutes. So
What?
Respect.
It's like the hardcore early Red Bull downhill race that they do right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he was in the Olympics in 36 in Garmisch, and they came back from there, and they got beaten so bad by the Swiss and the Austrians because my grandfather had seen something he never seen before. They were the Austrians were waxing their skis. So he came back then, and do you know what they're doing? They're waxing the skis. So they've never seen that before.
Oh yeah, so
Do
cool.
you have any bucket list dreams somewhere like in Sweden or in the world or work-wise? Anything that you would want to do if time and money were no issue?
Oof.
It's a hard one, but...
I've been to a place 2 times. I've been lucky to go there for skiing in Canada, in a lodge called Retalak. I've been there for 4 days, and then a couple of years, and I've been there for 4 days as well. So 8 days total. That's my the best skiing days ever in my life.
Where was it in Canada?
In British Columbia.
Nice.
And was a cat skiing lodge.
Ooh, sweet.
And we were super lucky with the conditions both the times I were there. So it was, I think that's like the most perfect. It was skiing in the forest with a lot of snow, with friends, and perfect conditions. It was the best ski days, for sure.
So you want to go back there?
I'm trying to go back there, but they're always fully booked. And it's been, right now, it's so expensive to go there again. When we went the first time, it wasn't that expensive to go there. But now it's...
So you need to find another lodge.
Yeah.
Who knows?
But it's also, when you go skiing, you can never, ever like guarantee that you will get good conditions.
That's very
Doesn't
true.
matter if you go to Canada or Japan or... It's your chances, it's better, but you never know. Like, I've been to Whistler and it was raining all the time. And I've been to the Alps a lot with bad weather. So you have bad weather everywhere. It's not just here.
No.
So it's also like a big gamble to put in big money to go a long way. And when
then
you come there,
have to do a season there.
Yeah, to
Maybe.
be sure.
Could you leave Åre for half a year? Or would that be too complicated with work?
Oh, my control.
I just wanted to say your control issues would probably stand in the way more.
Yeah. No, right now I have a great staff working for me. So this summer I was off 8 weeks. And I think I had 3 calls during that period from the work.
That's impressive.
So I have a great staff, and I have all confidence in them running the business when I'm not here. I think I have a bigger issue leaving them then they have that I'm leaving. But
that's a good sign, though.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, it's good. And now when you have kids, it's nice to spend time with them. I work a lot in the winter. I like to work. I think it's fun to work. So I don't see him that much in the winter. I try to have a couple of days, like maybe one day in the weekend I'm free to go skiing with him or do something. But so I have some time to...
Do you ever let him help in the store, like with little things?
he always wants to help when it comes there. He likes to carry things. So
there you go. It's a good thing to do.
With the next generation.
Or maybe, let's see.
He might be the one also saying, I don't want to do what my dad is doing. And he does something completely different. We'll see.
I hope so.
Do you see yourself live here for like the end of your time?
Yeah. I like I said, when I was younger, I didn't know if I wanted to stay here. Probably didn't want to stay here. But now when I have a family and I grew up here, I think it's the perfect place to grow up in. And so much has happened since I grew up here. Like, if everything that's possible now was possible then, it would have even been greater. Like, you have a skateboard area, you have pump tracks, you have biking, you have a pool to go swimming all year round. You have everything a kid wants, like jump yard, and so it's a kid's
dream here.
Yeah,
to live here.
So no, I'll stay here as long as I work, and my son is here, and my family is here, and I don't know when I'm 80.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice for people who have a dream of starting some kind of shop here in Åre?
I think you have to be really decide what you want to do, and don't do it too wide. Like, concentrate on the things that you...
Like a niche in something.
Yeah. And be good at one thing or two things and not do everything. And then be prepared to stomp on the gas sometime, but also brake hard sometimes, because Åre is like this. You know, the month of May, what we bring in the store in the month of May is less than we have in one day in December. Whoa. So our best day in December, we bring in more money than we do in the full month of May. And I still have staff, and I still have... So you need to have a lot of people working and full speed in the winter, but then you need to have the possibility to brake hard.
You still think there's room for more ski shops? Because you said at some point there were more, and now there are less in a way? Or that's probably not the best way to go if you want to start a new shop here?
I think the market is open, so if you do it good, it's probably that you can do it. I don't think there's a lot of stores like Skistar, Us Stadium. You have Björnen, that's also privately owned, that's really, really good in cross country. You have a couple in Duved that just bought the store there, that's doing a great job and evolving that store. And so I think the market, you can find everything you need to buy here. There's not like an opening in the market, you can't find this stuff with skiing. But when we started, other stores were a lot bigger than us, or when I started. And now we're one of the bigger stores. So it's up to you what you do. It's free competition. If you do it good, you can do it.
That's nice.
Yeah.
And if anybody wants to work at your place one day, do you need more people?
Everyone's welcome to apply.
Okay.
I have a lot of people applying, but we're open to everyone. And
you sound like a really nice person to work for. So
that you have to ask my staff about that. But
yeah, but whenever you come inside, it feels really genuine and nice. And so I think there must be a reason that is like that. So maybe you're the answer.
Is there a lot of returning staff, or you have a lot of turnover of new staff?
No, I have a lot of returning staff. Yeah. Like Christian, I told you before, he worked for 16 years. I have 4 or 5 people in the staff right now that's been working 10 plus years.
Wow.
Marielle has been, she's also about 16, the one who has been there the longest.
It's a good sign.
It's a very good sign. If they want to stick around you for that long, you know.
Maybe it's because I'm way big, but no, but this winter I have 2 new, of 18 people, there's 2 new ones. So it's good to change it up a bit every year, but it's also nice to have them around.
And is it a contract for the winter, or do they get a full year?
It's 50-50.
50-50.
Yeah, so half the staff is working just like the season, and half the staff is
all year round.
Yeah.
Is there anything you still want to share that we haven't covered yet?
I didn't know I want to share all this, so...
Then it's time to wrap it up, maybe?
Yeah,
we have some rapid fire fun to end it with. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Ski or snowboard?
Oh, ski.
Evening person or morning person?
Evening.
Sauna or hot tub?
None. I don't like it too warm.
Hiking or biking?
Hiking, actually.
There you go. That's it. That's all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.